Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, I'm Gordon. It's morning. That makes this Gordon in the morning. Today is Mastery Monday, and we're going to be unpacking what it really means to pursue excellence in your creative or professional or really any kind of journey. Our quote for the day is, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. And that comes from Will Durant, who was summarizing Aristotle in his book, The Story of Philosophy. Durant was an early 20th century American writer, historian, philosopher, and he paraphrased Aristotle's thinking on the subject. And today I want to talk about the idea of mastery. Mastery isn't about perfection, it's really about progress, about progression. It's a journey and not a destination. Because growth is an iterative process. Every time you show up and do the work, you're compounding that progress, even when it really doesn't feel like it. Mistakes that you make aren't failures, they are data. They're feedback that sharpens your skill and your awareness. So celebrate the process. When you fall in love with the doing, mastery becomes inevitable. Consistency really is part of the secret sauce here. Showing up will beat showing off every time. And habits are better than the hustle. The people we admire, they don't get there by doing more just one time. They did the right things repeatedly. Yeah, they do more occasionally or maybe even every time, but they do in increments. And they show up and they do things over, they iterate, they repeat things until they become habit. And they have tapped into that sort of snowball effect, the momentum that comes from consistently showing up and sharpening the skills and knowledge, gaining the wisdom, and then applying those things in practical ways. Momentum builds trust. You trust yourself, if nothing else. That's why I do Gordon in the Morning every morning. I'm here to prove to myself and the world that I am showing up, doing it every day. I have something to say, I have something to share, and I hope it inspires you and touches you a little bit. So, making that momentum happen allows you to build trust in yourself and among others as well. That reliable effort creates reliability and outcomes. So, hey, while I'm thinking of it, if you're here and you're watching, I would love to hear from you. Say hello. If you're watching on the replay, pop your name or pop something in the comments and chat just to let me know that this worked for you. And yeah, I'd love to say hi. So discipline really is a gift to your future self. You want to master things, you have to be disciplined about applying yourself to mastery. But it doesn't have to be tremendous exertion every time. No, every consistent action that you take today is sort of an investment in tomorrow's excellence. So focus. This is really important. Don't multitask. If you want to master something, it needs it needs your full attention. At least when you're working on that thing, don't be working on 3 other things at the same time. You can't master what you're working on if you're only half present for it, right? So if you're going to do this mastery, and I think we all have things that we can be masters at, you have to give it your full attention. And depth of focus leads to breakthroughs. Going deep on the one thing will uncover insights that you would never discover if you were skimming 10 things. And let's remember that our attention is a limited resource. So every distraction we allow dilutes the power that we can bring to our craft and forestalls or delays that mastery that we're after. So protect your creative energy. Structure your time to allow you to focus, to support you, to turn off the noise and turn on your full presence. If you don't have a block of time set aside each day for that personal inner work, that mastery kind of work, think about that. That's a great strategy, is just to have that 30 minutes in the morning or 60 minutes before bedtime, or just a block of time each day that is devoted to your mastery. And it doesn't have to be the same thing that you're mastering every day, but you need to repeat things often enough to make it habit. So I would strongly encourage carving out some time, even if it's at first it's just for some reflection on what it is you expect that you'll master. And then as you start to get into it, you can devote your energy to it a little more. And, even if what you do is a hobby, that you want to master. It is tremendously rewarding to have something that you're just good at, that people respect and admire you for doing. It's good for the self-esteem, and it builds your confidence about everything else that you do as well. So maybe it's model railroad or podcasting or showing up every day and doing an inspirational morning video, or painting or sculpture, or maybe it is your profession and your work as a lawyer or a doctor or an actor or a director, a scene painter, whatever it is you do. Mastery is confidence building, and it allows you, once you master one thing, then you move on to the next and you expand your scope of mastery. And curiosity is another thing. It really fuels growth. Masters are perpetual learners. The questions are what unlock the mastery. The more curious you are, the more you uncover about your craft, about yourself, about your discipline, the better. And staying teachable. When you're arrogant and you think you know it all, or you feel that you've achieved everything there is, that will block any further growth. Humility, though, opens doors to new levels of understanding. So we all need to take a moment and acknowledge that we know a lot, but there are still things we don't know. We know how to do this thing, but there are things we don't know how to do. That humility, that acceptance of our own areas, I won't call it weakness, but our areas for growth, is tremendously powerful and keeps those doors open for that understanding. Experimentation is another thing, leads to evolution, trying new approaches, new perspectives, and it expands your range and sharpens your edge. So always be pushing the boundary just a little bit. And let's take a moment to have a deep thought affirmation for the day. Let's say to ourselves, I commit to mastery by showing up, leveling up, and never letting up. I commit to mastery by showing up, leveling up, and never letting up. Say that a few times out loud. I commit to mastery by showing up, leveling up, and never letting up. That is the way you will achieve the kind of, there I go. Showing I'm not a master at this tool yet. Anyway, I commit to mastery by showing up, leveling up, and never letting up. So do that and grow your levels of mastery. And if you are interested in working with me to identify and master ways to achieve more, better, faster in your life, in your creativity, in your business, in your work, in your hobbies, whatever it is, I hope you'll reach out and let's talk. And as always, I hope you'll like, comment, push the notification bell, subscribe, follow, depending on what that is for the platform you're seeing this on. And I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow for another Gordon in the Morning episode. Tomorrow will be Transformational Tuesday. I'll see you soon.